What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Let's chat about Wild Card Weekend. We are playing on Saturday night on NBC. Looking very much forward to this game. Looking forward to be able to get Herbert in the playoffs, get this team in the playoffs, get Brandon Staley in the playoffs, and let's see what we could do this week, guys. So let's just chat about what's going on. We know where we're at and everything, but let's chat about the playoffs and kind of what we could hopefully expect for a run. So let's get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go. All right, we are here. The exciting week of getting into the playoffs. You know, obviously win or go home now at this time, boys. So we know where we're sitting at. 5th seed. We're playing against the Jags this weekend. We'll do a whole video about that later this week in a pregame show. We're actually going to be doing that with a special guest. So it's going to be exciting to be able to have that later this week. So exciting week, a little bit of nerve-wracking, but at the same side, exciting all around. So let's just show you guys a couple things here. Obviously, we know we're sitting at the 5 seed right now. And currently, this is kind of where the matchup looks like at the moment. So basically, bottom line, guys, Jags are our competition this week. We are the 5th seed. We are going against the 4th seed. What does that do? Well, we beat the Jags. We will play the Chiefs. You know, it's kind of a weird thing thinking about this, guys, is that we're kind of in this weird, like, revenge state where we could have, our revenge against the Jaguars. Once again, week 3 was a totally different team for us. That same game, what did we lose? Bosa, Slater. I think Williams or Allen, either which one was actually out. I think it was Allen during that time that was out. We had a lot of things going on that were just really thrown off from that game. There was a lot of things going on with turnovers and such. It was just all around kind of a mess of a game for us. And the Jaguars took advantage of it, and they should have. And I remember after that game, the Jaguars, they were like, wow, are these guys the real team now? They seem like they're actually going to be this amazing team. Doug Peterson, wow, look at that. He's going to make this team great. And well, what did they do shortly after that? Well, the Jaguars basically went on a very much a cold streak at that point, and it really changed their season for the worst, to where everybody was like, wow, okay, they just got lucky with that game possibly. And so all around it was just kind of a shift of their season for the worst, but then they eventually led to a very strong outcome to be able to end the season on a 5-game win streak. So all around, different seasons, different type of teams at that point in time. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later on this week. But guys, it's going to be exciting. We basically came into this game, obviously winning 4 of the last 5. We basically had a good solid streak there where our defense was extremely strong too. We were one of the top defenses in the league. Last week's game, I'm really putting that behind me because I'm really not putting it as that's who our team was. That's just kind of really more, I felt like a preseason game, just try to get out of it healthy kind of thing. Now, everybody's jumping on the whole thing about Mike Williams. I get it. Joey Bosa, I get it. All these different things, I get it. I understand it 100%. And I do see at a certain point in way or time that we should not have played our starters for that long by any means. But look, we want to keep our players sharp. We want to keep our players good to be able to go in the playoffs. The numbers don't lie. Your percentage of winning is way higher when you play your starters going into the playoffs. I think it's at a 78% chance to where you could win when you play your starters going into the playoffs, or there's a 33% chance of where you're going to win when you sit your starters going into the playoffs. So it's crazy. I did even see for bye weeks too that your winning percentage is just a hair over 50% of a winning percentage too. So once again, guys, there's a lot of things here. And once again, Brandon Staley's a very big guy for metrics and all of these percentages and looking over all these math type things to put their team in a better position to win. So I was okay with it. For how long? Probably not. Should have been that long that the starters played out there. But guys, we're in the playoffs, 5th seed. Jaguars are the focus this week. It's going to be a great game all around. I did want to kind of just dabble a little bit on the other teams. You got obviously Miami playing against Buffalo. Tua probably won't play this game. Cool weather out in Buffalo. I mean, I'll even see what Buffalo weather looks like for us, which is generally not very good. I believe they did split the season series between Miami and Bills this year, but looks like that game is going to be sunny, 31 degrees, not too bad, not too great at the same time. It's definitely going to be colder out in Buffalo than it is in Miami. So, and then for the Cincinnati game, Baltimore game, more and more sounds like Lamar Jackson's not playing that. So it's probably going to be Tyler Huntley going to be the quarterback there playing against Cincinnati. And once again, that's going to be in for Baltimore. Baltimore's cold. Cincinnati's cold too. So either way, there isn't really much of a issue there or a leg up basically having it on in Cincinnati. They're both very cold places. So about 39, 49-ish for that game. So it's actually not that bad. So it'll be a good game, good weather game for those teams either way. So, but not having Lamar Jackson is not helping the Ravens. The Ravens have not been playing well without Lamar Jackson. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. So one thing I just want to point out, guys, obviously the focus is on the Jags. Like I said earlier, week 3, totally different team, totally different circumstance. Both teams are completely different. They've gone on their losing streaks too. They have gone on their hot streaks too. It was an interesting point that I was listening to another podcast that they were chatting about. Hey, look, it's not easy to win 5 games in a row. It's not easy to win 9 games in a row. At some point, you're going to find a way to lose. So for us to lose last week, there's kind of a benefit in a sense for that. Personally, I wanted to be able to get to 11-6 as a team. I just think it looks better on paper, in my opinion. But at the same side, it's kind of nice to be able to get the loss out of the way when it doesn't matter. It's better. It's much easier to go on a 4-game win streak than for the Jaguars to continuously keep winning to win the Super Bowl or whatnot. So 5-game win streak is very, very difficult to do. 6-game win streak, very difficult to do too. So bottom line, it's nice to be able to get that loss out, understand where we could get better, and to be able to keep things going. Now, maybe I'm crazy for saying that, but at the same side, I think it makes sense to where it's like you could get that loss out and you could continue another win streak at that point. And I think our team is very, very capable of it. Now, once again, not looking ahead or anything like that. The beautiful thing is, though, the revenge tour continues. You go from Jacksonville, who blew us out earlier this year, to the Chiefs, to where we've lost twice to them this year by a total of 6 points. Probability of losing a third time in one season is pretty difficult. So I'm excited about that. Not looking too much ahead of it, but that's where it's going to be. My thoughts of who's going to end up winning, obviously, I feel like Buffalo and Cincinnati will go head to head, and they will basically, play it out from there. Now, once again, if we're thinking AFC Championship way ahead here, guys, we need to have one of these wild card teams beat them, because since we're sitting in the 5th seed, if we end up having, say, for instance, like Baltimore beats Cincinnati, well, then that says, well, let's just say if both of these teams end up winning and we beat the Jaguars, we are now at the 1 seed if we beat the Chiefs, which would then lead us to the AFC Championship game. Or we win, say Buffalo goes, or let's just say, or Cincinnati, and say one of these 2 teams ends up beating them, and then we beat the Chiefs, and then they beat the high seed, say it's Bengals or Bills. Let's say Ravens find a way to beat the Cincinnati Bengals. They come down here. Then basically we beat the Jags. They beat, then say, for instance, the Buffalo Bills in the conference championship, or excuse me, the divisional championship. That would basically put us in the high seed at that point, guys. So really, we need to be able to find a way to be able to get this one of these 2 teams. Actually, I could say we win, we beat a division team. We win, or excuse me, they have, if they lose this week, basically both of these teams, Bengals and the Bills, we basically could find a way to be able to have an AFC Championship game at home. Now, but once again, it's very far ahead to even talk about that. But we basically need to have a couple upsets here. If we could have, we win, one of these win, and then whoever ends up winning the other divisional leader here, either the Bills or Bengals, they need to beat them once again in the divisional playoffs, which will then, we need to beat the Chiefs. We basically could have the AFC Championship game at SoFi Stadium. Insane to be able to think about that. But there's a lot of crazy things that happen in the playoffs. Once again, playoffs, the record for regular season does not matter at all. Everybody is 0-0 at this point. So once again, crazy things could happen. So bottom line, there is a path to get to the AFC Championship game and having a home game to be able to get to the Super Bowl. So a lot of things need to happen. Dolphins and the Ravens need to be able to step up to make that work for us. But bottom line, guys, we're just focusing on the Jags. It's going to be a great game. We'll do a whole pregame on that with our special guests and everything too. So looking forward to that. Just going to show you guys, because I know everybody jumped on Brandon Staley about playing these starters for this last game. Once again, guys, I'm reiterating to this. Stats don't lie. Basically, if you sit your players down, there is a higher probability of you losing than winning. It is a 33% chance, guys. You got to play your guys out there. He talked about 48 people that he only had on the team to be able to work with. I get it. You could have made a second team and just done that throughout the game. I get it. But we want to be able to make sure our guys are fresh, good, and everything. If you really look at that game, we had a phenomenal first drive. We got another touchdown out of that, too. We're up 14, looking good. Guys, we did look very sharp. Big thing that I didn't point out, Keenan Allen looked great. Best I've seen in a very long time. A lot of yards after catches. That's huge. You want to go into playoffs knowing that this guy could get yards after catch for you guys. It looked really good. Joey Bosa got a sack too. Kyle Van Noy looked good. We ended up getting a pick. Bash got that pick. What really killed this game was just a couple fumbles. I get it. What killed the game too? People got worried about Mike Williams. Sounds like it's just a bruise in his back. Sounds like he'll be fine. Once again, Joey Bosa, they said that Joey Bosa had a little bit of injury. Well, he practiced full for us today. You got Bryce Callahan. He was out for that game, practice full. Xander, full. Kenneth Murray had a neck stinger, full. All these guys went out there and kept playing. Trey Pipkins has been having a knee injury. Once again, he has been a beast just getting through this season. He was full. Mike Williams sat out because he was getting treatment on his back. He should be playing for this game. He will play for this game. Once again, we'll know a little bit later on today, being Wednesday today, if Mike Williams will practice today. I imagine a limited practice for him today, probably a full practice for him on Thursday. So, guys, we are in a good position in health. That is not going to be something that we're going to look at as being an issue at all. So, now, once again, this is just a Tuesday report on a Wednesday. But Jacksonville Jaguars did have Trevor Lawrence with a toe issue, light practice. Jamal Agnew, light practice, shoulder issue. Their long snapper and kicker did not practice for the Jaguars, and Brandon Sheriff had a light practice too with an abdomen issue. So basically what I'm saying here, guys, is that we are healthy as a team. We are very, very healthy as a team. And we are looking very, very good all around right now as a team. So, guys, we have a very exciting week ahead of us. Keep the faith. Keep it going, guys. We have some exciting things going on for the season. We do have a path. Does require a couple of these other wild card teams to be able to get us to potentially get to an AFC Championship game. Once again, thinking way ahead, guys. I don't want to sit there and say that we're going to get to that point at this moment, but we do have the Jags to focus on this weekend. It's going to be a great game. Saturday night football. I always want to say Sunday night. Saturday night football against the Jags. Awesome game all around. We actually will be staying here instead. We were talking about potentially getting out to that game in Jacksonville, but it looks like we're going to stay out here. We'll be with the Bolt Pride guys here in Arizona, in downtown Phoenix. We'll show you guys that information. It'll be at the Ainsworth in downtown Phoenix. So it'll be a really, really good time. If you guys are in the area, please come on out. Have a good time. We'll be doing a broadcast there live, hopefully, and to be able to do a post game there. So it's going to be exciting time, guys. We're looking forward to this. Excited for this game. We'll keep you guys updated on everything. By the way, once again, I did not even bring this up on the injury report. Exciting to be able to see that Rashawn Slater is activated for the 21-day to be able to get off the IR. He will not be playing this weekend. But what does that mean for us? Well, we potentially get our starting left tackle back against the Chiefs. Whoa. Think of how big that could be for us. It could change the whole dimension to that front end of our offensive line. Once again, the last 2 weeks have been pretty good. We've only given up 1 sack in the last 2 weeks, or excuse me, average of 1 sack per game for the last 2 weeks. That's very, very good for us. But adding a guy like Rashawn Slater brings up a whole big dimension for us. It brings up a whole thing for us for our running game. That's major for us, guys. So it's exciting to be able to see that. It's exciting to see that Rashawn Slater has a chance to come back when it's critical. I don't know, when I thought about this and him coming back, it kind of reminded me a lot of Eric Weddle coming off the couch basically for the Rams and come out and win a Super Bowl for him. So this definitely has to rejuvenate our team a little bit more to know that, hey, we're going to have our guys back. Now, once again, we still have the Jags ahead of us. I'm obviously thinking very much ahead, and I really hope that we could find a way to be able to beat them this weekend. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a very close game. Everything I've looked at, we're very evenly matched as a team. So it'll be a very exciting game. But once again, one game at a time, guys. Eyes focused on the Jags. Let's keep it going, guys. Exciting. Want to hear you guys' comments on the playoffs and kind of thoughts here. Love to be able to hear from you guys. Like, subscribe, share the video, guys. But appreciate it, guys. Let's keep it going. We'll keep you guys informed on our side, guys. So once again, I'm James from the Bolt Bros. Let's go.